Hi everyone. So I've been really excited to see this movie for a few months now, ever since I saw that first initial trailer. The movie is called Wild, and I didn't really know this before watching it, but it actually is inspired by a true story. It's based on a memoir of a woman named Cheryl Strayed, who, when she was young, she was suffering from some major tragedies. So to kind of deal with her problems, she decided to go on a trail called the Pacific Crest Trail that travels from Mexico to Canada. And so this tells the story of that and her adventures in just trying to get a lot of stuff off her chest, dealing with the past. This actually comes from the same director of Dallas Buyers Club, and the screenplay is written by Nick Hornsby, who is known for writing Fever Pitch, About a Boy, and High Fidelity, amongst other great novels. So yeah, again, I was excited this movie because I'm a huge fan of Reese Witherspoon. She is the star of this film. The movie also stars Laura Dern, but the majority of this movie, more than 75% of the time, Reese Witherspoon is out in nature by herself, acting with the elements, acting with herself, acting with nobody else. Sometimes she's acting with other people. And the movie goes back and forth. The main story, of course, is following her as she's traveling from this destination to this other destination and just dealing with all the crap that's going on in her life. And we get some cool flashbacks of her past, dealing with her mother and the tragedy with her mother and the tragedy with her husband and many other things that she's really trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life. Now, before I watched this movie, even though I didn't know this was a true story, I remember watching this, before I watched the movie, thinking, okay, there was another movie called Into the Wild, which was based on a true story, directed by Sean Penn. And then, while watching this movie, I couldn't help but remember a movie I saw about 2 months ago, maybe less, called Tracks, where that movie dealt with a woman in the 1970s traveling, hiking all over Australia, and this movie deals with a woman who is living in America in the 90s, kind of doing the same thing, had some crazy stuff going on in her past, and this is the only way that she feels like she can actually deal with it, just get out with nature. And it's kind of weird, this weird genre that's popped up in the last few years, and I can't really think if there's movies in the past, there probably has been some movies in the past that have dealt with people having tragedies going on with their life, whether they're true or not, true stories or not, and then going out in nature and just being with what's going on out there, just trying to get away from it all. Now, if you've seen Into the Wild and you've seen Tracks, this is kind of the same story, though I won't go into much detail, especially if you don't know the true story, and I didn't know much about it. But I could relate to this story somewhat, even though I actually had people around me, and I was a Boy Scout at one time, Eagle Scout. But I remember when I was 12, 13, or 14, I can't remember what year, we went out on a 50-mile hike up towards Mount Whitney, and luckily I was there with many scouts, my dad who was a scoutmaster, and a couple other scoutmasters. But it was really interesting to watch this movie and also have something to kind of relate to it, as I've been out there in nature. I haven't done it as an adult much. It hasn't been something I've been eager to do ever again. And after watching this movie, I'm still not that eager to do it. But, watching the movie, I couldn't help but remember what I did in my youth and as a Boy Scout, and just having to put all that stuff in a pack and have all the dehydrated food and water and the tent, set up the tent and stuff. Luckily, it was a better situation for me. I had more people around me, but that was just 50 miles. This one, she travels like 1,000 miles, maybe even more. So yeah, there's not a lot of things I was thinking about while watching this movie. Again, I'm sorry to go on a tangent about myself. It's really hard because it's me talking. But as a movie, it's very well made. Again, it is from the director of Dallas Buyers Club, and he's a great director. He's actually, his next few films, one of them includes the Janis Joplin movie starring Amy Adams, so that's something to look forward to. This movie's shot well, it's beautiful, the cinematography. Reese Witherspoon is great. Of course she is. She's an Oscar-winning actress. She's great just being out there, and it looks like she was out there doing her job, trying to get as close to this character as possible. And, it's a beautiful looking movie. I like the way it is edited, how it goes back to these flashbacks from her past, how she's troubled by her past choices in her life, and how it deals with what's going on. And there's a great supporting cast as she's kind of meeting other travelers on the way, whether they are driving her somewhere or they're actually meeting her on the trail. So, A really interesting film that I'm glad I got a chance to see. I had to go out of my way to actually watch it because it is in limited release. It is in limited release right now, and if you can find it, I highly recommend you see it, especially if you're a fan of Reese Witherspoon. Can't talk right now. But I couldn't help but go, okay, I've kind of seen this movie. Maybe if I didn't see Tracks a few months ago and I didn't see Into the Wild a few years ago, this movie would have been more exciting and special. I think those movies had me more in an emotional tailspin than this film actually did. I don't know if I'd ever actually want to read the book that this is based on, but I found the Cheryl Strayed character, who is a real person, to be a very interesting and flawed individual, someone we could actually care about, relate to, and hopefully this travel that they go on, this experience that they travel on, I should say, we can appreciate that as an audience member to kind of relate in our own lives as whatever problems we're dealing with, what kind of thing that what we would have to do to kind of get out of the situation to deal with these certain problems. So the movie is very well made, and I highly recommend you see it. I wasn't as emotionally involved as I would want to be in this kind of story, especially when it's a pure character-driven story. I mean, there's no action in this movie. It's a slow-paced film. There's no big high CGI special effects or creatures. This is just a straight story. It's a true story, and I think it's definitely something worth seeing. But if you're looking for an action movie or something that's high-paced and a lot of fun, I wouldn't recommend this film to you. But if you're looking for something that's smart, sophisticated, and interesting, and also just, you know, shows nature as it is, as violent as it is, and as beautiful and wondrous as it is as well, I would definitely highly recommend Wild. And you can check it out, hopefully limitedly, in your area. I hope you can check it out. If not, you may see it on video, DVD, or streaming on some sort of site. I recommend it if you can find it, and I'm going to give the film a solid 3.5 stars out of 4. I'm MovieManCHAD. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Twitter and I'm on Facebook. And please go to WeLiveFilm.com and subscribe right here on YouTube to We Live Film. Also go to Long Beach Acting and Film Association right here on Facebook and Twitter. Please also go to MoviePile.com, and if you've enjoyed this video movie review, click right here, subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. If you've seen this film Wild, what did you think about it? Did you see Tracks? What did you think about that? Did you see Into the Wild? What is your favorite movie out of these three? I'd have to say Into the Wild is my favorite out of this kind of weird genre of survival films. Especially because of the ending of that movie. It's pretty astonishing. But what did you think of this movie? Did you see Wild? What do you think of Reese? I cannot talk right now. Reese Witherspoon. Really great actress, and it was really hard to see her in this film. I mean, it was kind of hard. What I say is she kind of blew me away with her performance, and I forgot I was watching her. Anyways, let me know what you thought of the film. And in the meantime, have a great day, a wonderful night, and a wonderful life. And I'll talk to you in my next movie review. Bye, everyone. Peace be with you, my friends.